Hello. Hello.
Hi, today.
Hi, how are you?
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So, for your lesson today, what would you like to discuss?
Oh, today I like to discuss a, a, a Western building in Kaohsiung. Is the maybe it's the host Western building in Taiwan. It's called the British Kaohsiung Consulate. And before Kaohsiung, the name during that time not called the Kaohsiung, maybe called the Da or Ta because Kaohsiung, why the what's the Kaohsiung's name come from? We have some saying. One is the maybe the Aboriginal pronunciation called because Kaohsiung before Taiwan people come from mainland China, the Takao was inhabited by the Aboriginal, and maybe the Aboriginal's place name called something like Takao, and later Taiwan was occupied by Japan because in the 1895 between China and Japan, they had the Sino-Japanese War, and that's the last empire, last dynasty in China history. The Qin dynasty was defeated by Japan. By, by Japan, so Japan sent their and they had a country called uh, Shita Shita Shimoda no Shimoshiki country. And according to the country, Taiwan and the Penghu Peninsula, and even the Liaodong Peninsula in the northwest of China was given or ceded to Japan. And Russia, because Russia also liked the Liaodong Peninsula, so Russia invited Germany and France to interfere the Liaodong Peninsula, and they don't like this to given to Japan. So Japan had no choice because their Western country is very powerful. So they only get Taiwan and the Pagoda. So after Japanese come to send the troops to Taiwan, especially they come to Kaohsiung, and Kaohsiung in that time they heard the name is Dagao, and maybe Japan had a place names Takao, so it is similar to Takao. So they use because Japanese Takao they had the Chinese character, so the Chinese character is in Taiwan's in Chinese pronunciation is called Kaohsiung, where the Japan this character Japanese Hazong is the pronunciation is Takao, and again pretty similar to Aboriginal's Takao. So later we use the Chinese, we use the Japanese Japanese Takao's Chinese character, and we pronounce it in Chinese, so we call Kaohsiung. And so during the consulate was built, it is built in 1865. So in that time, Japanese not come. Yeah, Japanese come to Taiwan in 1896, and this was built in 1860. Yeah. Because England after the industrialization industrial revolution, they become very powerful. So they seeking colony around the world, and so they build a company in India called England's East India Company, and that company is selling the opium to China during the Qing Dynasty. Yeah, because in England people like tea very much, so usually they import the tea from China. Not only the tea, include the for using or the tool for drinking tea. That's the China way, and the China way. So England pay much money to the to the to the China, and China buy nothing from England. So that's one way trading. So England is and that's why. So the British government ask the company, the England Eastern India Company, to hire the local people to grow the poppy flower, and to make it into the opium, and to sell to mainland China in that way. And England sell their cotton or clothes to India, and India plant the poppy and sell to China, and that is framed the three ways trading, and that is more equal for the British. But unfortunately, this opium hurt the Chinese people's health, because people using or inhale the opium, they get addicted, and their health destroyed. So like the prime something like a prime minister who see this is very bad situation. So they one time they destroy all the opium, and to burn the opium, and that make English government of the English. So they had the China English China and English war. That is called the Opium War, and China was defeated by the England. So they get also a city, the Hong Kong. So Hong Kong, according to the Ranking country, Hong Kong was given to England for 10 and rule for 100 years. So till maybe to 20 or 25 years ago, they returned to mainland China. That's the Opium War. And after Opium War, according to the Ranking country, the China must open White Harbor to the in England, not only to the England, maybe to the other country too. That is called the Xiamen and the Guangzhou and Shanghai and Chongqing. Yeah. But not only white in the mainland China, also whole in Taiwan. That include the Kaohsiung and Tanshui in Taipei and Keelung, and even the Thailand's Anping. They are whole harbor in Taiwan open to the England too. So in England's businessmen come to Taiwan or doing business with China. So government of England, they send their government officer to Taiwan to help the businessmen of the England, and so they build the consulate, and they build the consulate just in a small hill, a small mountain in the Kaohsiung harbor, near the Kaohsiung harbor. One side is the harbor, and the other side is the ocean. And so when people get up to the consulate, and they can see the scenery of the Kaohsiung harbor, and the other side they can see the Taiwan Strait. And this and in the ranking country, the OPNO is here is on the in 1840, and they send their later businessmen come to Taiwan. So English government send their government officer to Taiwan in 1856, and not before after the ranking country OPNO and signed the ranking country, but unfortunately the China Qing Dynasty government officer don't obey the country, so they are still conflicted together, especially in 1856. A Chinese ship, but they set up a English flag. So that means this ship is protected by the English. But unfortunately, the one a group of the Chinese officer go to go on this ship to check without the agreement of the England. So they later they had fighting, and that is called the China English Peking fighting. And the China also had another fighting with the French. So later the French and the English together fighting the Qing dynasty, the China. And so the Qing dynasty was defeated, and not only defeated, the special palace in Peking they call Yanminlian, also destroyed. And so after this England and France together fighting with Qing dynasty, the Qing dynasty was defeated. So they signed another contract that called in Pin, in England France Tianjin contract that give the Q-Long or Jiulong Peninsula to England. Yeah, and so from that on, the businessmen of the English go to not only to mainland China and also come to Taiwan doing business. And so the government of English sent the high ranking officer to Taiwan to protect their businessmen. So they built British Kaohsiung. In that time they call Dagao Consulate. And in the building is the host Western style building, and the designer is English people, where the ochre or building this building is from mainland China, and the material also from the Xiamen and mainland China. And this is built in the 1850 1856. But we have already talked about in the 1895 they had a Sino-Japanese war, and Japan and Qinghai was defeated by the Japan, and so they keep the Taiwan and the Penghu Peninsula and even the Liaodong Peninsula to Japan. And so Japan in 1896 they sent their trooper and the government officer to rule Taiwan. But the Taiwan people, especially the Aboriginal, they don't like to be ruled by Japan, so they had many fighting too. And so after the riot was crashed or oppressed by the Japanese soldier, and Japanese ruled Taiwan, and they also used this consulate. They as not doing like a consulate. They use this building for the research. For research Taiwan's seafood and research and the ecosystem after Japanese occupation. And Taiwan was ruled by the Japan around 1896 to the 002 end is in the 1945. Totally 50 year Taiwan was ruled by Japan, and after Japan was defeated by America in the World War II, and Taiwan, according to the Cairo meeting, and Cairo meeting, three leaders of the world they joined the meeting. One is the America President Roosevelt, and Chiang Kai-shek, the Republic of China's leader, and another maybe is the British Prime Minister. And according to the Cairo meeting, Taiwan was returned to mainland to the Republic of China. And after the World War II, Taiwan was given back to mainland China. So Chiang Kai-shek sent a very high-ranking officer to Taiwan to rule the Taiwan. And while Chiang Kai-shek still stay at the mainland China, still much fighting with the communists, because during the World War II, sometimes the communists working together to fight against Japan, but sometimes they attack the Kokuin government troop too. And after the Japan was after Japan surrounded and defeated by America, United troop, and the mainland China, the communist openly against the attacker, the Chiang Kai-shek government's troop. So they had the so-called civil war, and it lasted for maybe a whole year in 1949. In 1949, Chiang Kai-shek Kokumin government was defeated by the communists. So Chiang Kai-shek withdrew to Taiwan, and with the troop or the military's family, and with the public servants family, and to Taiwan. And after the Chiang Kai-shek came to Taiwan, this British consular originally to be used by the Japanese to as a seafood researcher and ecosystems research. And after the Communist Party withdrew to Taiwan, they still use this consulate building with similar study, and similar study also study the seafood, something like that. Okay, there are many stories. I can only tell a little. So that's all. What's your comment?
That's actually quite a lot. You said you can only
Yeah.
share a little, but for
Yeah.
me, it's already a lot because
Yeah.
I don't even remember my history. And you
Oh.
reminded me of the Opium War. When
Mm,
I was a student,
mm,
we were taught,
mm,
um, our teachers taught us
mm,
not just Philippine history, but
mm.
also
The old
Asian
history, Asian
history.
history. So you have,
Asian
so
history.
you have already heard the open O?
Yes, but I
Oh,
forgot
you
about it
forgot?
already. Yes, I
Oh,
forgot what I learned about Asian history because that
mm,
was a long time ago.
oh,
And when you mentioned the Opium War,
mm,
now I understand. And
mm,
also,
mm.
um, it was a long time for me. I consider it a long time
Yeah,
ago
it
when
is
I
around
heard.
1840, open O,
Yeah.
1840.
Yes, and also
Mm.
about what happened to Hong Kong when
Right, Hong
the
Kong.
United Kingdom had
Mm,
to
mm,
return Hong Kong to China. I
right.
remember that
Mm.
event quite well.
Yeah,
Yes, I think
yeah. That's
I
because the
was.
open war
Mm,
and
mm,
Qing dynasty was defeated the British, so they cede the
wow.
Hong Kong to England for ruin 100 years.
Mm, yes, and you can really see the influence of the United Kingdom,
Mm,
uh, its influence, the British influence in Hong Kong.
mm, mm.
Mhm.
That's
Yes,
because their political system. Yeah.
yes, yes, that's
So
right.
now they are holding demonstration against the mainland China
Yeah.
because they like to
Oh,
change the originally when they are return British return the Hong Kong to mainland China, they had the contract. They must assure uh, give the China must give assurance of the Hong Kong to have the democratic system, and they must have the one country two system. But unfortunately, recently they put much law. They like the Hong Kong people seem they will lose their freedom, their democratic system. So they holding demonstration. Yeah.
mm,
Especially
yeah.
recently, they passed the law of the country's safety law, and that is
Mm.
very severe, very strict. Yeah.
Yeah, so Hong Kong is, I think, used to the democratic form of government, and
Yeah, right.
China, like you said, is used
Autocracy,
to yes,
dictator, yeah,
communism.
dictatorship, yeah.
Yeah, so you also mentioned Chiang Kai-shek.
Chiang Kai-shek, right.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
So he was also, I also remember my history teacher
mm, mm,
mentioning that very popular
mm,
political figure.
mm, mm, mm,
Mm,
yeah.
right. Yeah, so,
Especially the Roosevelt is very famous
oh,
in America, and they had two general, very famous general. Is one is MacArthur, and another is the how do you call MacArthur? Another in the Houston. MacArthur is in the Asia, and in the Europe they are called Eisenhower, right? The general,
oh,
Eisenhower. And
interesting.
Russell is the president, and two general, two five-star general is the Eisenhower in the Europe, or battlefield, and in Asia, in the Pacific, they are the MacArthur. Yeah.
Yeah, so um, in my country, democracy is
Mm.
really valued. How about in Taiwan? What form of government do you have in
We
Taiwan?
we had a democratic political
Wow.
system. Right. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
Oh, so it's the same as
Right, right, the
the
same. Yeah.
Philippines. So you also have a president,
Yeah, we
right?
had a president, right?
President.
Yeah.
And yes, I remember Taiwan having a female president.
Right, right. Now we had Tsai Ing-wen, female president. They served for the second time. Second term. Yeah.
Oh,
The the
yeah.
the, the second term began from this year, 25th of May. Just began three months ago. Yeah, the second term.
Yes, we're the same. We also had two female presidents in the Philippines,
It has been.
Aquino and
Aquino,
Arroyo.
Arroyo. No, no,
And Arroyo, yes.
Aquino is the
Mm.
Aquino. His husband, her husband
Mm.
was a
Mm.
murder, was murder.
Yes.
The son, and by the president, how do you call that? Marcus, Marcus.
Yes, that's right. Oh, you're really very good at.
Yeah, yeah, and he was asked by the by the America and to run
Mm.
away to Hawaii and die in the Hawaii, right?
Yeah, so your memory is very good. What can I say? Your presentation today is
And Aquino, whose son also become the president, right?
yes,
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah,
Very good.
yeah.
And well, for today, you just like I said, you did an excellent job, and you were spontaneous as usual. So keep up the good work,
Okay, thank
and
you.
very admirable.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Your memory is better than mine.
Not really.
Yes, I think so. Congratulations. So
Okay,
have a
thank
good
you.
night.
Okay, see you
Yes,
next
thank
time.
you very
Okay, bye
much.
bye.
Thank you.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.